Okay, good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. All right, it is exactly 9:04, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I know most of you all are getting ready for spring break next week, so we're not going to hold you too long with Cartwheel Meal Counter, but we are excited about rolling out Cartwheel Meal Counter. I think it has some great features added to it. We have used Meal Counter previously in the prior years, program years, but with this one, we have a lot of new enhancements that they have added to it to make meal counting much easier and to reduce the paperwork. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me get my notes. Still have some people coming in. And also let you know this, as it stated, it will be recorded and it will be available for you to go back and do any to review as needed. Okay, just 1 second. Let me get. Did it go over there? All right, so today I will provide a brief overview of Cartwheel Meal Counter. All right, during the SFSP training that we held during the month of February, Ms. Loria, she discussed meal counter, explaining how meal count paper tally sheets are now a thing of the past. We live in a world, of course, with technology changing every day, where everything is becoming more digitized. So why not digitize meal counting? All right, this morning, I also have some of our staff with us. Of course, our administrator, Miss Loria Hunter, she is on with us. Miss Lakeisha Love, she is also with us as well. And also we have Mr. Ben Guthrie, former administrator for SFSP as well as CACFP programs. He is with us as a retired state employee. We will have a session at the end of session, a moment at the end of the training session, but we'll address any questions. But please feel free to enter any of your questions that as they come to mind, so you won't forget about them. By the time we get to the end of the training, you can go ahead and enter those questions that may pop up in your mind as we go through the training sessions. You may enter those in the chat. Lakeisha and Mr. Guthrie, as well as Miss Loria, they will be monitoring the chat and we will address all questions at the end of the training presentation. Okay. First thing, what is Cartwheel Meal Counter? Cartwheel Meal Counter is a digital platform designed to streamline meal service tracking and claiming for summer food service program and other child nutrition programs. It replaces paper-based tracking, allowing sites to count meals in real time, submit claims, and manage data efficiently. A few of the highlights of Cartwheel Meal Counter, of course, as we stated, it allows accurate meal counts, which kind of minimizes human error. It simplifies claims. That also helps with human error, where we reduce, where we're eliminating the paper tally sheets. Your data from your meal count will be stored into the Cartwheel Meal Counter, and you can submit your claim within just a click of a button because your application, your approved link application, once it is approved and you select Cartwheel Meal Counter as your meal counting method, it links your application to Cartwheel Meal Counter, where it will show your calendar, your approved calendar dates, as well as your approved meal serving types. It also reduces paperwork. Remember, I stated that we live in a world where we have innovative technology every single day. Everything that we're doing is utilizing is electronic. So we're trying to make that advancement as well when it comes to meal counting methods.
It's Tiffany.
Yes, I think Lakeisha just sent me
Yes,
a
I think
message.
Lakeisha just sent me a.
Okay. I just say it so like we can.
Hold on just a second. I think it's because, can you see everything now?
You see everything now?
Lakeisha
Yes.
says yes, but I want to hear from some of you all. Can
Hear
everybody,
from some of
can,
you all. If everybody can.
Yes, it's gone now.
okay, I apologize. That was the little thing over there. All right.
Tiffany, may I interrupt for a moment, please?
Please do, Miss Loria.
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to make clear that the people who are on this Teams meeting, this is just for those who are participating in the summer food service program, and you use the paper applications, the paper tally sheets previously. So if you have an open or restricted open site in SFSP and you have used the paper tally sheets, you need to be on this call. If you're doing SSO and you have an open or restricted open location, you need to use your POS as a school food authority. You need to use your electronic POS. So the bottom line is all meal counts this year are going to be done electronically, whether it's through meal counter or your electronic POS. The tally sheets are only going to be acceptable in emergency situations and for only until that emergency has ended. So if you're not summer feeding and if you're not, excuse me, if you're not doing summer
Almost
feeding,
everything that I do, I don't. You don't. I don't ask him for anything. I don't
will
know what
you
his magic
guys
is doing.
mute
So
your mic, please?
found it.
Will everybody mute? Thank you. Okay, so
They already even started. I have to use it.
will you mute your mic? Whose mic is open? I can't see. Okay, thank you. So did I clarify that for who needs to be on this call?
Do have a question in the chat, Miss Loria, for
Okay,
SSO sites that have unaffiliated sites. For SSO sponsors who have unaffiliated sites, should they use the Cartwheel?
they won't be able to because Cartwheel is linked to the SFSP application. Cartwheel is not linked to the SSO application. So I would recommend talking to your POS vendor. Most of them have a way that you can put your POS system in summer feeding mode, and that's the route you should go. If that does not work, you need to reach out to us individually. Any more questions about who should be on this call? I don't want for you to have to sit through this presentation if it doesn't apply to you.
I think we had some more to enter since you've made that announcement, Miss Loria. But just to clarify,
Mhm.
if you are operating SSO, they should not be attending this training. You should be utilizing your POS system to capture your meal count or any electronic digital. Um,
Exactly.
yes,
Whether
that
it's
has.
Google Sheets or I think there may have been some other electronic options out there that I'm not aware of. And I think the confusion might be coming from us actually. And if it is, I do apologize for that to everybody who's on this call. But the Cartwheel meal counter is linked to the summer food service program application. It is not connected to the SSO application. And since it is not connected to the SSO application, you won't be able to download and get it integrated into that program. So as a school food authority, most of the school food authorities have electronic POS systems in place. Please use that during the summer. If you have an unaffiliated site, please check with your POS vendor to see how you can. Most of them will have a tablet or some remote or kiosk mode that it can be put in for you to get those meal counts. But the bottom line is electronic meal counts only this summer. The exception is if there is an emergency situation where you cannot use your electronic meal count system. And we talked about that in the training as well. If you do run into that issue, let us know. And then when that issue, whatever it is that's keeping you from using your electronic system, whenever that system is back up and running, we need to know that as well. Any more questions about who should be on this call? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Miss Loria. All right, and on to our next slide, Miss Loria. We just addressed or the question. I know there have been a lot of questions about Cartwheel Meal Counter, and Miss Loria just addressed the first question that I have listed here: who must use this program? And as Miss Loria stated, that Cartwheel Meal Counter must be used for open and or restricted open sites for those that are operating an SFSP program, not the sponsors that are operating SSO. All sites that utilize or have utilized tally sheets for meal counting must now utilize the Cartwheel meal counting. School food authorities may continue to utilize their point of service, their POS, for meal count programs used during the school year. Other forms of digital meal counts are accepted. I'm sorry, excuse me. Meal counts are acceptable with state agency approval. The next question, why do I need this? The state agency is transitioning to digital meal count record. Cartwheel meal count will replace the manual meal count tally sheets for congregate open and open restricted sites. Why not just use tally sheets? They've always worked. Of course, as we stated, we live in a world of change and an innovative change of technology, so we must adjust. Technology is all around us and everything is becoming digitized. I remember being in college, and I'm sure you all remember too, but when we got ready to do exams, we had to go and purchase a Scantron sheets from the bookstore or whatever. Well, now all assessments are being done through doing digitized on the computers. Let's see. The next question, how will it help my program? It will reduce the time that involves paperwork by eliminating the paperwork. It will also help reduce human error, such as incomplete meal count tally sheets, missing or incorrectly counted tally marks that could possibly result in AR findings and meal disallowances. The next question, what if I have limited or no Wi-Fi access at my meal serving sites? Meal Counter has an offline feature that has been added that stores the data, and once the Wi-Fi connection is reestablished, the data will sync. I will show you a demo of the feature with the offline feature during today's training. The next question, how do I and my staff get access to Cartwheel Meal Counter, and how does Cartwheel Meal Counter work? That's what we're going to show you today. We're going to give you a brief overview of how Cartwheel Meal Counter works and how you and your staff will get access to Cartwheel Meal Counter. Okay, it all starts with your application. All sponsors that will be utilizing Cartwheel Meal Counter will be entered into the meal count system by your assigned education specialist. When you're completing your organization's link application, you will need to select Cartwheel Meal Counter as your meal count option. Now it shows on here that it's option number 30, but remember, as we stated during our training, that we have requested some enhancements with the online application. So this option is now number 33 on the site application. I place a star here where you will see where you will have that option if you're going to utilize Cartwheel Meal Counter. And remember, if you've utilized the tally sheets as your meal counting method, you will now have to use Cartwheel Meal Counter. It's just an electronic form of that tally sheet, and you'll see how simple it is as we move forward. But you will select Cartwheel Meal Counter. Once your application is approved, in the Cartwheel link, and I'm sorry, in the cart, let me back up. Once your application is approved, it will be linked to the Cartwheel Meal Counter. This will sync your approved sites, your calendar days, and your approved meal serving types, whether you're serving breakfast, lunch, snack, or whatever it may be. All of that information, along with your claim information, will be linked to Cartwheel. So everything is linked together, which makes the process a lot easier. And of course, it's eliminating a lot of that paperwork. After your application is approved, your ed specialist will synchronize it. We go in and we enter the information where we sync your approved application to Meal Counter, and all of your meal serving dates, your meal serving types will be appear in Cartwheel. Now, there's several ways that you can access this. Now, it can be done through your telephone, using your iPhone or your iPad, and here are the steps to access Cartwheel utilizing your iPhone. I've tried it myself. It works. I have it right here on mine. I don't know if you can see it, but it has the Cartwheel app right there. And it's very easy. It's just an electronic meal counting method. Well, what if you don't have an iPhone or an iPad? Well, we have Android device as well. Now, Lakeisha, she has an Android device, so she has uploaded this Cartwheel information onto her Android device. So we have tested this in every aspect possible to make sure that this program works successfully for you all. Okay, once you enter into Cartwheel, and I'm going to show you a demo, but I'm just going to highlight some of the things that we're going to see as we go through the demo this morning. This will be the screen that will appear. You will have your login and your password. Once you enter that information, the next screen that will appear, you'll have the option of count meals or manage my sites. Now, manage my sites, that is going to be where you, the administrator, the sponsor, you will go in and you will access this part right here. It's really simple and easy. Let's show you. When you enter in, this will be the first screen that appears. Now, I'm highlighting this one because here, where I have this star, it has knowledge base. You click on this question mark, and it has a wealth of information. It has videos, all type of information, demos, that will help you with your training process, but you can use as resources. But we will train you. But here are helpful resources in addition to the training that you will receive from the state agency. Once you click on that question mark, this screen here will appear. And you will see where you have videos, whether it is for your sites, for meal counting, meal claiming, submitting your claim, offline demos, all type of information is here. It is a wealth of information. Here are some of the resources that are available for you. You have your sponsor and your site demo video. These are some that you can utilize when you're training your staff. Also, site user video. Here, if you come down to sites, you will see where it has the app installation, which is what I just showed you a clip of, where you can install the app on your iPhone or iPad device um, or your Android device, or it is a computer base. It can be used on your laptop or your desktop, are, however you choose to capture those meals using Cartwheel Meal Counter. It also has the offline meal counting feature demo that I will show you as well. Now, I won't be able to give you that live. I'll just show you the video because if I go offline, then I'll lose the whole meeting. So I'm unable to actually demonstrate that for you, but I can show you the video on how it works. And I promise you it works. I have tested it in some of the ruralest areas of Montgomery County, and Lakeisha has tested it in some of the ruralest areas of Watauga County as well. All right. Now, this is where your work comes in right here. The first thing that you would do once you have decided who will be your site supervisors, who's going to be doing the meal count, you will have to add this person. You will add the person to give them access to complete the meal count. Now, you won't give them all of these access here where they're active admin or supervisors. You will get all of these yourself. That way you have access to everything. You only want your site supervisor to be able to just um, complete the meal count process. That's all the information that they should be able to do. You will have access to be able to see if the meal counts have been reported, which sites have not reported their meal count. You can be able to see your daily meal count as well, which will help you with your site cap. Okay, and it allows you just to basically oversee some things without having to pick up the phone or be there at your site. All right, now here's the dashboard. After you have entered your person, your staff who's going to be conducting the meal count. Now this is your dashboard. When you first log into Cartwheel Meal Counter, the site reporting status page will display. Now this is what I was saying where you were able to just log in and see who has reported their meal count, who has not reported their meal count. And that way you can pick up the phone and say, hey, you haven't reported your breakfast, you haven't reported your lunch. That way you can oversee to make sure that meal counting is being done and it is being reported within a timely manner without having to be there present at each one of your sites. And it also breaks down if you have multiple sites as well. It tells you which sites have completed their reported their meal counts and which ones haven't. And you can see that down here at the bottom where it says site reporting detail. This particular sponsor has two sites. It has First View Elementary School and then it has Duo Secondary School. Now the green check marks indicate that these two sites have reported their AM snack. Well, the first one has reported their AM snack as well as their lunch, and then with Duo Secondary School, they have reported their lunch. Now, of course, if they had not reported it, then the check marks would not appear. So there are multiple ways that you can see when a site has reported their meal count and if they have not. Now, we know at the sites, your site supervisors, they get sidetracked. They've completed it, but they have not reported it. But it's okay. They still have time to report it. All right, here's the next one. This is what I was talking about again. Now, this one right here, this one gives you a little bit more of a breakdown. You see the site reporting detail at the bottom of the screen? Now we see that First View Elementary School, they have reported their meals for the day, their meal counts for the day. Dual Secondary School has reported theirs, but Primary Orchard and also Cardinal Butts have not reported theirs. So that's going to prompt me to call the supervisors and say, hey, what's going on? I noticed that you have not reported your meal count for today. They can easily go into the app and submit it. Now there are stages. I mean, they probably get busy and they forget to click that submit button, and it happens. But we want to make sure that meal counting is reported within a timely manner, and this is a way that you will be able to oversee and help you with some of the responsibilities that you have with summer feeding program. That you can make sure to assure you that these things are done. All right, the next one we're looking at is going to be the site reporting summary, of course, again, and not reported list. At that top section, which we haven't really focused on, we focus on that bottom one. But here it also shows you as well. Um, The sponsors, you can easily view a list of sites that have not submitted meal counts, and you can simply click on the numerical link under Not Reported heading, and it will list those that have not reported. And it can also list those that have reported as well. And I'm going to show you that demo in just a few minutes. And like I stated, this will then prompt you to contact your site supervisor to ask them why haven't that, to see why that the meal count has not been reported. Of course, we went over this section as well, the site reporting section, where you can list and see if it has the green check mark, they've reported it. If it's missing, then we know they have not reported their meal count. And remember, this can be done on your mobile device or tablet device. This is an easy way to complete your meal counting. Now, this gives you it can kind of rest your mind about the tally sheets, wondering if the tally sheets are completed, if the tally marks are completed correctly, if the information as far as the site information, if that information has been completed, that you don't have to worry about anymore because you don't have the paper tally sheets. So therefore, all of this information is stored in the computer, and I'll show you how you can access it as well. Therefore, if in the event of an administrative review or in the event of a state agency visit, you can easily have that information right there readily available without having to search for tally sheets or wondering if your site supervisor has completed the tally sheets correctly or not. Now look at this. This kind of looks like the tally sheets, doesn't it? All Cartwheel Meal Counter is, it is an electronic form of meal counting sheets. That's all it is. It's going to make this process so much easier. It's going to eliminate the worries of going back, counting the tally marks when you're getting ready to submit your claim. Each time that you submit or your site supervisor submits their report for their meal count, it generates this for each meal count. It will have the date stamped as well as the signature stamped of the person who is submitting that information. All of it is right there, readily available, and it is stored there for you to access, like I stated, in the event of an administrative review or a state agency visit. Now, we've looked at some of the features of Manage My Sites. Let's look at Count Meals. Now, this is where your site supervisor will enter. When they are on site and they are getting ready to conduct meal service and meal counts, they will enter at Count Meals. Now, remember, because you have added your site supervisor and given them access only to count meals. Now, everything that we've seen under Manage My Sites, that is for you. That is for you, the administrator, to go in and view everything. They don't have access to that unless you give them access, but you should only have that, and maybe your assistant that is working with you have access to that information where they're monitoring and making sure that meal count is being completed and it is being reported daily. Now, count meals. Let's take a look at this. Once they once they enter their password, they will be given a username as well as a password. And once they enter, they will select the actual program, and it's going to be SFSP. And then you're going to have your organization name will appear here where ALSDE is. That where demo is, it will be the actual site. If you have multiple sites, then all of those sites will list there, and they will select that particular site. That they will select the date, and most of the time the date will automatically pop up to the current date. After they enter that information, they will go to the next screen. Now, this next screen, you will see where they have to enter the number of meals received as well as the temperature for those meals as well. And then if there were any meals that were left over from the previous meal serving, they will enter that information as well. They will click Save. And remember, they will have to complete this before they can actually serve the meals. So they can't bypass any of this information. They will have to enter each of these required information. So first thing they'll do, the temperature check. Then the next thing they will do, the number of meals received, and then they will enter any meals that were left over from the previous meal service. Next, they're ready to serve meals. Okay, let me go back one to the previous slide. The next one, that icon that will populate, will be serve. Once they get ready to serve, it's real simple and easy. They remember they have entered how many meals that they have received. Excuse me. And what they will do, excuse me, what they will do, they will enter, I mean, it's just a electronic. They cannot manually enter the numbers here for the meal count. They will have to use the addition sign or the subtraction sign. Now, let me go back, and you will see in my demo. Now, when I'm entering the received temperature, yes, I can manually enter that using my keyboard, but I can't do that, or I can use the plus sign, but you can manually enter it there. You can manually enter the number of meals received, and you can manually enter the meals. You can manually enter the meals left over. But when it comes to meal counting, it's just like an electronic clicker. You just have to click, click. You cannot just enter a number. It will not allow them to. So as the students receive their meal, a full reimbursable meal for that particular meal serving type, then they will enter the plus sign as the children are going through the line, receiving line, and as they receive the meals. So at the end of it, you see here, we have the number served, and then it'll tell us how many we have left over. Now, the wonderful thing that you'll see that if I entered that I have 74 meals, it's not going to allow me to claim more than 74 meals. Why? What will happen is you will have to do where you will request additional meals. It's not going to allow you to claim any more meals than you stated that you received. After you have completed your meal service, it will have all of the information here. It will capture everything, the total meals served, if there were any meals wasted, if there were any meals that were incomplete that did not have all of the required food components, if there were any meals left over. They will have to affirm it by sliding over this radio button. If they don't do that, it's not going to allow them to submit. Once they click the radio button, then it will allow them to submit, and all of that information will be captured where you can go back as you saw where it showed you that electronic meal count tally sheet. You can go back and you can review it, and this site will be shown as reported for whatever meal service that they have just recently completed. Okay, now I'm going to show you a demo because I have been working with a site. This is just a test site. So I'm going to walk you through the process of your site supervisor. I haven't done my breakfast yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do my breakfast for today, my meal count for breakfast. So give me just a second to pull this down and pull up my other screen. All right, let me get my screen. Give me just a second. Mm. And we're going to share. Hold on a second. Mm. Mm. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm just playing with this one. This is just Butler County Board of Education here. And for some reason, it's not. Let's see if it lets me log out because I want to go from the beginning. Okay, so I'm entering as I'm going to count my meals for today. I'll go in as count meals. And it's loading. Okay, perfect. Now this is one of the screen. This is the extra screen from one of the slides that where I was showing you, giving you a preview. Now here's the program, SFSP, and there's Butler County. And then I'm going to select the site. I think I'm doing W.O. Palmer. That's the one I've been working with. And it generated today's date. Now these are highlighted in green because I have not reported my meal count yet. So I'll go here to receive. I'm doing breakfast. Now here are icons here. This one is where we have to enter the temperature, and this one is going to be where we serve the meals and so forth. And then this is where we will sign off on if there were any leftover meals or any meals that were wasted or any meals that were incomplete. But we'll go through this step by step. So I have my time. It's going to stamp my time as 9:40 a.m. And here's my temperature. Now, I could just use the plus sign, but here it allows me to enter a temperature received. And let's do, let's see, sorry, 32.3. Okay. And then we're going to say, I got a small group of kids this morning. I'm going to enter my number of kids here, and we're just going to say 20. Now I could use the plus or the addition sign. I'm sorry, the addition or the subtraction sign with that. But I just went ahead and manually entered that. Now remember, I can manually enter it here, but I can't manually enter it when I'm actually doing the meal count. There were no previous meals left over. So now I'm going to save this information. Now, and you notice it's syncing that information in there. All of this is going to be electronically saved on that tally sheet, that electronic tally sheet that I stated. Now, I can save it or I could have gone to next. Of course, you can go when the site receives the meal, they go ahead and they test it. You have your temperature and everything and say it's early. But let's go ahead and I can save it then, but I could have just gone ahead and done next and just it would have taken me automatically to my meal count serving. So here you see that this icon is now whited out. This one shows up, appears in green. This is our serve. We're getting ready to serve those meals. So as the children are going through the serving line and they receive a full reimbursable meal, I will go ahead and enter the plus sign. And you notice it's subtracting from my 20. I've served one, have 19 left over. I'm going to say all my kids showed up today. So I don't have any left over. All right. And it automatically takes me out. Now look at this. Up. Remember, I told you it's not going to let me go over what the number of meals that I said that I received. So that's going to flag that. That's going to eliminate some of those errors. Now, if I do actually need an additional meals, I can go in here and request that information to you. Request that those additional meals. Whatever process that you may have in place for your site supervisors, they can go ahead and enter this information here and they can go ahead and communicate it with the central kitchen as well. But it's also recorded here as well. So this will kind of eliminate a lot of those human errors. Everything is right here when it comes to meal counting. If there were second meals, you can enter the second meals, adult program meals, and also adult non-program meals. All of this information is right here in front of you, and it's done captured electronically. All right, so I have completed serving my 20 meals. I will go to next. Were there any meals wasted? No. If there were, I would enter that information here. If there were any meals incomplete, meaning they were missing any of the required food components, I would enter that information there. Here you see for breakfast, March 12, 2026, it has the program, the sponsor, this specific site, and it also has the time that it was received, the temperature recorded as well, recorded number of meals received. There were no leftovers, total meals available, total first meals. Everything is recorded here electronically. All right, so now I can affirm it by clicking the radio button and then click submit. I am done with my breakfast meal serving. Okay, you're back at the office, and let's check and see. You're checking in to see if the meal count has been reported for breakfast for W.O. Palmer. I'm logging in as the administrator, and there you see it. You have the green check mark, but we know lunchtime has not occurred yet, and most of the time you'll probably check this periodically through the day, but that gives you that it kind of eases your mind about meal counting. Okay, you can check and see that it's been done without having to go to the site or having to call the site or anything. You can see that it is being done. Now, let's take a look at a few other features that I wanted to look at really quick. I'm going to go here and let's look at the sponsor monthly meal counts. All right, it's going to show all of your meal counts thus far for the month of March. So therefore, you see all of it information, the total number of breakfast, total number of lunch. Now remember, this will help you when it comes to your site cap. You, instead of having your site supervisor communicate the number of meals, you can go in here for that first week that we have stressed a lot about to kind of go back and revisit your site cap, your meal site cap. You can have that information right here readily available, and this will kind of tell you if you need to increase your meal site cap or if you need to decrease whatever needs to be done on that, because that's one that we had identified during our training as one of the most common findings. So that information you can monitor that to see where your meal site cap should be based upon your meal count report. Right. Now let's take a look at breakfast forms. Now, all of this information is going to be generated and it's going to be saved. And you see how it pops up there in form of a zip drive of zip file, I'm sorry. That's for SFSP. And you kind of see it's kind of by dates. Right here, I have the 10th, 11th, and the 12th. Let's look at this one. And it's formed to a PDF right there. All right, here's my information on that particular site. The total number of meals that were served. That's my breakfast. And for some reason, the tally, I know on the presentation, the tally marks were showing on there. That's one thing we're consulting with Link about, Cartwheel about. The tally marks not showing, but however, it is capturing the meal count. Now, some people are like me. I have to have paper copy of everything. I have to have a hard copy. So you can take this information and you can print it and put it in a file, or you can save it somewhere and put all of it in OneDrive, however you like to. But like I said, it's eliminating the process of where you have to actually complete the tally sheets yourself. Meal counter, it does all of it for you, and it has the signature and as well as the time, date and time. It captures all of the information for you. Right. The next thing I wanted to show you, an audit report. Let's take a look at the audit report. And I worked with this one back in, I think, October. Lakeisha and I and some of the other staff, we worked with this one back in October. So I'm going to pull up the report from October for one of the sites. I think it was for sure. And it's going to generate the report. There you see it downloads to your computer. And you see it has all of your information for your meal count for each day back in October to November for the days that we tested it. So in the event of an audit, here's your meal count for that particular month or that particular program year. It's going to go all the way back. Okay. One other thing I want to show you was one of the added features that I spoke about earlier was the demo of the how it works offline. I will go here to knowledge base. Lakeisha, let me know if I'm losing you all. Okay. I'm going to go to my videos. And I'm going to tell you, it has everything step by step here. But it has the offline mode. And I want to show you this really quick. And we don't have to look through it all or listen to the entire thing. But when you're conducting the meal count, of course, we know when we see these lines right here, this is Wi-Fi mode. But you can capture your meals without being online. So I'm just going to play just a little bit of this just so you can get an idea of one of the enhancements that Meal Counter has provided. And the sound is not coming through. Okay, so Lakeisha just informed me that the sound is not coming through. Well, I will talk through it, okay? Let me mute the sound so it won't on my end because I can hear it. But Lakeisha stated that the sound is not coming through. That's fine. So here, you'll notice that the lines, they're going to disappear because it is in offline mode. They actually put it in airplane mode. But just to show a demonstration of how it actually still captures the meals once you lose Wi-Fi connection. Your site supervisor will still continue with their daily routine of entering the temperatures, the number of meals received, and if there were any meals left over from the previous day. They will serve the meals and like they normally do as the children are receiving a full reimbursable meal. At the end, they will do the recording of any meals wasted and so forth. Click the radio button, done. But remember, we're offline. We're still in airplane mode. Okay. And at the bottom, Down there, you'll see that that number here, it looks like an outbox. I think that's what it's called, an outbox. You'll see that it's going to store that information there. It's going to store it until Wi-Fi connection is reestablished. And now you see it has the number 1 down there. That means that it has one report that is holding, that it has not synced yet. So now we get back where we have Wi-Fi. We can reconnect to the reestablished Wi-Fi connection. That Wi-Fi connection has been reestablished, and there you have your bars again. Now, you notice, still look down at the bottom where you see that number 1, and it goes to 0 because now, and it confirms that it has synced that information. So it now does have the offline feature. I think that's pretty amazing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back to my presentation real quick, and we're just about done. So give me a second to go back to that. Just a second. Oops, I'm sorry. All right, so, oops, and I think I got y'all in the way. Hold on a minute. All right, there we go. All right, so what's next for Cartwheel Meal Counter? At the end of this training, the sponsors that utilize tally sheets or have utilized tally sheets for meal counting will need to send an email to the SUN program at sun@alsde.edu. In the subject line, if you would enter Cartwheel Meal Counter. In the body of the email, please provide the name of your organization. Why are we requesting this information? Because there will be ongoing training with Cartwheel Meal Counter. Next week, you will receive an email informing you of your assigned education specialist. Your assigned education specialist will communicate with you regarding Cartwheel Meal Counter, surveying organizations that will be utilizing Cartwheel Meal Counter. And of course, as I stated, you will need to send an email to us if you will be utilizing Cartwheel Meal Counter. Now remember, this is basically non-negotiable for those sponsors that have utilized the meal count tally sheets as their form of capturing their meal count, because the paper meal count tally sheets will no longer be available. Sponsors that will utilize Cartwheel Meal Counter will receive communication regarding ongoing training sessions and technical assistance with Cartwheel Meal Counter. I do apologize. There's one more thing that I wanted to show you. And after this will be the end of it. We will address questions. But one more thing I want to show you really quick. And I know we have used Meal Counter in the past before, but we now have two of the important puzzle pieces. We have the link application along with the the Cartwheel Meal Counter, which will make, when it comes to submitting your claim, it's going to make it so much easier. And I have to show you that feature. Just one second. Let me stop sharing and go back real quick. Okay. Get it. All right, here we go. Now this looks familiar to everyone. Of course, this is where we log in into your online application. I'm going to log in here. I am in UAT. And you get the correct year. I think, was that 25? That was 25, 26. We will working in that tester with. Make sure I select the correct program, Summer Food Service Program, and I am going to go to claims because it's time for me to submit my claim. It's the end of the month. We're starting a new month. I'm going to go to claims, SFSP, and I think the one that I was working in was 077. Let's search here. Now, this is just a tester, the one we've been testing with. And remember, I showed you the audit report from October where I had a lot of data there. I'll go to October and I'm going to click modify because I've already submitted it, but I want to just show you how it works. The end of the month, it's time to submit your claim. All I have to do is click upload data from meal counter. All of your meal counting will go right into your claim. There's no more adding up each of the meal counts from the tally sheets, getting the total, and possibly making mistakes where you underclaim or overclaim. All of that is captured and it automatically imports into your site data claim for the month. And you are done. I think that's one of the best things that happen with this program in terms of making it better for our sponsors and to reduce human error. All right. I could kind of show you. Let's see if it'll go in here. But I've already uploaded the information, so I didn't have to manually enter any of this information that's shown here. I didn't I didn't enter any of it. Once I click that button that says upload data from meal counter, it automatically does it for you. You don't have to do anything. Okay. All right. So you go back. I apologize, going back to my presentation, and then we're just about done because I know some of you all are. Tomorrow's Friday and getting ready for spring break. Okay. Okay. All right. So thank you so very much. Are there any questions? I do have a QR code that I need to have you complete so you'll get credit for attending this training. Give me 1 second to pull that up.
Tiffany, there is a question.
Go ahead while I'm pulling that up.
It says, can we upload all data at the end of each month for claiming, or is that something that needs to be imported into Link daily?
Oh, you can wait till the end of the month. That's exactly what I did. I waited till the end of the month to upload that information because that's normally how you would do it. So just wait, wait till the end of the month. But you know what? We can try it and see because um, I'm currently just playing with the month of March on the one that I'm working with. So let's take a look at it and see what happens if I do that now. I like that. Let's see. Let me go back. Hold on a minute. We can try it right now. Why is it not? I know. I'm sorry. Go over there. Let's try it right now and see what happens because you did see what I just completed the meal count for today and I showed you a few more that I've done. I'm going to go back and right here, the month of March, let's see what happens. It says incomplete, but I'm going to click here. Well, it looks like it did it. So that was W.O. Palmer, right? And then let's click at modify. We can click view. Oh, there it is. So you can. You don't have to wait till the end of the month. So
I
these are
think
the
it's
numbers that I have thus far. Yes, ma'am, Miss Loria.
I think it's probably best to wait till the end of the month. I think the important thing is to make sure on a daily basis that the sites are submitting the information so that it can be received by the central office and stored. And then at the end of the month, it's just a matter, once you've confirmed that all the sites have reported their meals, then you can just upload it one time. Because I think if you do it daily, I don't know what the advantage to doing that is. Because it probably is going to create a revision daily, is it not? I don't know. I probably shouldn't.
You would probably have to go in and do modify. It's not going to be as simple as if you would do it at the end of the month.
Hmm.
Now, this would, remember the purpose of this to kind of the purpose of this is to reduce some of the, I guess, some of the work when it comes to meal counting. So if you're going to do this every day, I'm with Ms. Ware. I wouldn't suggest that you do it every day. Just wait until it's time to submit your claim like you normally would. But if you're not serving meals the entire month, then yes, you can go ahead and do that when your meal serving time is ended. Now, remember, these dates that you enter in your application, they're going to be synced with your meal counter. So if you make any changes with your actual meal serving, you need if you in your application you initially say that you all are only going to serve meals for 2 weeks, but then you add another week. You're going to have to go in and create a revision to your site application and your calendar and enter that information in your calendar. So therefore, that once it is approved, then it will sync to your meal counter. So you're still going to have to keep everything in balance. But as far as submitting it every day, I'm with Miss Lawyer. I probably wouldn't advise that. I would just wait and do it like you normally do. Whatever date that you have set that you're going to submit your claim, we know at least by the 20th of each month, but whatever day that you have set that, okay, today, every month, this is the day that I submit my claim, then that's the day that I would do it. Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Let me get that QR code real quick. And if you have any other questions or Ms. Laura, anything that you would like to add while I'm getting that QR code?
I was wondering if we needed them to put their name and organization in chat so that we'll have a attendance record, or if that will be accomplished through the QR code.
It's going to be accomplished through the QR code. I got it coming in just a second.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. There any other questions while I'm getting this information up? Are, are we feeling good about Cartwheel Meal Counter? Now, that's something I really would like to know. Any feedback? You can unmute.
We're excited.
Yes, that's what I like to hear.
Yes. Excited for a great summer. Excited for everything to go as smooth as possible.
That's perfect. That's what we're here for, and that's what we are working towards. As you see, we have been testing meal counters since October. Before, we want to make sure we have the kinks out of the way. But with any time with there's anything new, we have some little hiccups, but we have been trying to eliminate as many as possible. So we're excited. I'm excited. I get excited about little stuff. So I think they have to calm me down sometime. Isn't that right, Lakeisha?
I'm along with her. I'm excited, but the part about entering, just hitting the upload button to submit the claim has just won me over. You're gonna have to go site by site and enter that information. So that part has just over for today.
I think so too. Look at that. I'm so excited. Y'all can see my little hands
The city
clapping
of
over here.
Talladega is very excited.
Awesome. Oh, this is great. This is really good. Okay, let me get this QR code and make sure you send that email. And like I said, next week you will receive, you should have information about who your assigned ed specialist will be. And that way we will continue to communicate with you with ongoing training with, Cartwheel Meal Counter. So I have this right here. Let me get this for you. You can scan this QR code. And of course, if you have any questions, if we can be of any assistance, please, as always, reach out to us and we will be more than happy to assist you. Do we have the QR code up, Lakeisha? All right, there we go. Well, thank you. Really? All right. Lakeisha said we're already receiving those emails. That's great. We're excited. But thank you all so much for attending today, and we look forward to working with you. And at any time you need any assistance, please feel free to contact us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, I'm going to let the code stay up for about another minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and end it. If you have any questions, you can enter them in the chat or email us.